Hey there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tales from the Podcast. One of your hosts, JV, here with my co-host, Jackie Poo. How's it going, Jack?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, dude. For sure, man. I do want to go ahead and apologize
I'm
for
actually doing
my
very
last
good.
week thing for you.
I said we never should bring it up, but we should never bring it up again.
Well,
No pun intended, asshole.
It could be worse, that's for sure. But anyways, man, we got a pretty fun episode this week, dude.
We do have a fun episode. I'm really excited. And by the way, look, here I'm about to be in on the real one. Wow. Okay. So, for the record, by the way, everyone watching, this week I've been working on an album and everything. So I have people over from overseas, out of state. So if you hear stuff in the background, let us know in the chats, and then I will tell them to shut the fuck up. But I have my very first
shut the fuck up
official. We have, yeah, I will. I did. They know, but special effects artist on my team, who is amazing, and you'll meet her after the show.
Awesome. Very cool, man. But dude, we got a really fun episode.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, you got old man eyebrows, that's for sure. And we got a really fun guest, and he's actually got some really new things coming on this in the next couple of weeks. He has quite a few things coming out. So let me go ahead and bring up our guest for this episode, Mr. Ron Purtee.
Greetings and salutations.
Hey, Ron, how's it going, buddy?
I'm all right. Sorry, I was just reading from Farts, the Spotter's Guide.
Yeah, man, dude. So I understand that you got some pretty cool things happening right now with a new Blu-ray release as well as a new film that you're working on.
Yes, the Blu-ray encompasses all 10 years of everything I've done, and it's the low price of $15 plus shipping. You just go to ronasawebsite.com. It's got everything, all my shorts, the feature, everything. So that's, and it's, I don't know how long it's 15. It might go up after Christmas. You never know, depending, on things, but, yeah. So the Blu-ray is a big thing. It's been out for a little bit now. I haven't been pushing it as much as I want to, though, because I've been too busy working on, the movie. So.
That's fair, man. So I understand that this Blu-ray actually has quite a bit on it. Is there anything you can kind of tell us about what this Blu-ray consists of?
Every single actual film I made, every single one in the last 10 years. It's got both.
Does it include the videos that you privately sent me?
The ones where I touch myself at night? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, because those were, I kept trying to download. And it kept saying file too large. So
that's what happens.
I hope you had enough space.
Yeah. I really had to condense things. Yeah. But no, it's got everything that I've done. I had some issues with a place that said they were going to be putting my stuff out, and they did, and then they took it down. We've talked about this privately, and I'm pretty fucking pissed, but whatever. So yeah, the Blu-ray's out for everybody. It's got I'll Be Right Behind You. It's got Angela. It's got The Becoming Undeads. It's got Imposter. It's got, everything. And you can't find them on YouTube anymore. So
that's pretty cool.
Does it have the one that was supposed to be a part of Paranoia tapes?
Yes, I got clearance from the producer, and he was cool with it. So, when you work with people and you don't pay them any money, hold on. When you work with people and you don't pay them anything, you have to make certain concessions. And he's kind of a bigger name, so I said, okay, I won't do anything big with it unless I get your approval. So,
Yeah,
and
he's
that's, and believe it or not, I met him through Joe Lynch. Not that I'm name dropping, so.
Yeah, as you're name dropping.
As I'm name dropping, yeah. I mean, I can really name drop when we talk about the movie.
Oh yeah,
holy shit!
And that's what I want to get to next, man. So with this movie, you and I talk a lot privately and everything,
right.
But I understand that this is actually like a pretty big deal for you to actually put this out, and it's not just something that you want to do, but something that you kind of, in a way, from our conversations, it seems like you need to do this.
Yeah, it's something I was working on as a web series. I want to say a year and a half ago, when my mom kept going back into the hospital, and it was mainly just about a guy who is dealing with people in the hospital while he's waiting for things to happen with his mom. And then at the end of it, the mom was supposed to die, and we were going to kind of be left to see what happens to the son. Well, fast forward to April of this year, and my mom passed. So I spent one night and I just hammered out 5 sections. They're only like 4 or 5 pages apiece. And everybody I asked agreed to on the spot. Didn't even have to beg them or plead with them. They just agreed right away. In fact, all of them agreed sight unseen of a script. So that was kind of cool. And this isn't just another film for me. It's me trying to exorcise demons. And it's the first time I've ever not done a horror film, believe it or not. It's more in the vein of something like Marriage Story that came out on Netflix from Noah Baumbach. And the cast, holy shit. Jen, Miss Malvolia herself, Jen Angle, is playing my sister. And then my mom's priest is being played by T.C. DeWitt, who played the doctor in Angela. Tyler Shea Cohen is playing my mom's doctor. And then Mary Jo Pehl from Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Cinematic Titanic is playing my therapist. And then Ed Larson from Murder Fist and the Brighter Side podcast is playing my friend. So we're all done but 2 scenes, and I'm making the big announcement now. The film is coming out on December 11th. So
that's awesome. And then I'm assuming that this is something that's also going to be available on ronhestwebsite.com.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it there. I'm going to post it big and bright as day right up at the top. It's going to be the first thing you see. You won't be able to get away from it. It's going to be like, hi, watch me.
All right. Well, that's awesome, man. It seems like you have a lot of really cool things going on.
So, what was it, Jack?
No, I said, are you going to pay for those ads to where it pops up on everybody's Facebook and Instagram and all that? Right when. No,
I don't pay for boosting things or anything like that. I like doing things au naturel.
That's why he's on here. Try to promote it the right way.
Absolutely.
But this is not.
I need to say hi, Gunny.
We got some people chiming in. We got John McLaren. Says, what's up, gang? Hey, John, how's it going? And we got Samuel Knight chiming in as well. Hey, Sam, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well.
So, but yeah, this is very.
I hope you're enjoying the camera.
It's not it's very weird to be doing something that's not genre. That's just straight drama. I know a lot of my stuff has become horror adjacent, where it's got horror elements, but it's not necessarily a horror film. But here we are.
Hey, man, as long as it's, like from everything that I've seen from it and everything, and, like I said, you and I talk quite a bit, like it seems like something that's going to be really, really fun and really interesting and, something that's like a must watch for anybody who's into any of your films.
Well, it's not so much fun until the very end. I mean, that's where the levity comes in. It's kind of, and I'll have to send it to you later, but I just finished the opening credits sequence, and it was It was a heartbreaker. I'm so tired of just seeing a film that just has the words on the screen and not have something, you know what I mean? Like all these indie films that are like, oh, I'm just gonna, keep it simple. So there's a magic in editing. You don't have to keep it simple,
Right.
So and it's not anything extravagant, there's no CGI. It's just something simple that is more than simple, I guess.
Right. Well, that's still really cool. Mm-hmm. And we got Sam chiming back in. Always with you guys, I'm having fun. That's awesome, man. We appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely.
You look like such a fucking old man, Jack.
Did you dye your hair?
I did. There's a reason.
There is. Yeah, there is.
No, look at it.
Look, guys. I don't understand why anybody wants to be old.
It's beautiful. I don't. The thing is, it's for a photo shoot we're doing tomorrow and a music video. So it's
supposed to look
I look good with gray.
Who told you that?
No. It's.
You know what? I'm not gonna reveal
my sources.
You just look at yourself like, yeah, I look pretty good at gray.
I look in the mirror, I put my dick back,
gray hair
and I'm like, I'd fuck myself.
Don't I mean?
Do you talk in front of the mirror and play Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus?
Yes.
Yes, I really do like the gray hair. It's actually silver, not really gray, it's silver. But my outfit that I have for the music video and the photo shoot for our album, it's there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I filmed a commercial the other night, and it went great. And I got a special effects. I literally found. Or she found me, either or, however you take it. She's been here, and she does special effects, and her special effects. Jack is gonna rock the happy. Hell yeah, Gunny. Love Gunny, but she does special effects, so I gave her her own room in our office. And you'll see why, Justin. You'll see why.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
All right. That's fine.
Don't you do it? Stop it, Ron. Don't you? This is not your last show, sir.
Oh, whatever. So let's go ahead and talk about the episode that we're discussing this week, guys. So we're talking about Season 3, Episode 11, Split Second, which originally aired August 14th, 1991, and is based off the Shack Suspense story, issue number 4. So, man, so this right here was directed by, goddamn these names in this one right here. And Ron, you're better with last names than me, man. Russell. What's
Russell McKay.
Russell McKay. So, like, when I was looking up him, one of the things that I found really interesting was that the majority of his early work was like really, really fucking high-end music videos.
Like a lot like David Fincher.
Yeah. But then like the one thing that like really started sticking out to me is like you had Mysterious Island, Highlander that he did, like some pretty big names. But then he went on to do like Scorpion King 2 and the Teen Wolf the TV series.
Great show. You know what? I was a fan. I was a fan of that. And I won because I love both Teen Wolf movies, and I've always wanted them to like remake it or something. But they made the show. MTV did a good job. Now they fucked up. Well, it wasn't really MTV, but they fucked up with Scream Season 3. But I was a fan.
No.
I mean,
the Teen Wolf series started to go down as like right after number 1. That's simple.
And the Teen Wolf series, like the show, it got horrible after the opening credits of the first episode. So why am I talking like the old man when you're the one that looks like one?
Because I'm sexier than you, and I'm a superhero. Next,
whatever.
I know for a fact that like every time I like something, it is like, oh my God, let's just disagree with Jack. He likes it. I say I like vagina and be like, oh no, he better not like vagina.
Oh, whatever. You say that. We already know you're lying.
That is what you would do.
What's your favorite Giallo film, Jack?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Oh man. Anyways, this episode was written by Richard Christian Matheson, who did Nightmare Cinema, which is one of Jack's favorite horror movies. He did some of the segments for Masters of Horror, It Waits, Amazing Stories, The A-Team, Knight Rider, The Incredible Hulk, the Lou Ferrigno series, as well as like Three's Company. Like this dude did a lot of fucking shit.
Well, that's Richard Matheson's son.
And he wrote.
Oh, that's fair.
And he wrote this. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, to be fair, like he didn't really like. We'll get to it after we talk about the episode, but he really didn't write too much, to be honest. Like there wasn't like a lot of really big differences in this one. But, anyways, there are I guess quite a few actors in this right here, but we're only going to talk about the main ones for the most part, just because the rest of them are all just like really bit parts and don't really have a lot to do with the actual storyline until like the end. But even then, it's not like a huge part of it to begin with. So, we got Brian James as Steve Dixon in this. One of Ron's favorite movies, Blade Runner.
I can't get through it without passing out. Blade Runner, the original Suspiria, Ghost in the Machine. I mean, I could name more, but those movies I cannot make it through without a nap. And Blade Runner is only like 90 minutes long.
I don't blame you on Blade Runner, but Suspiria,
I fell asleep too. I didn't see Suspiria.
That doesn't like a horror surprise
movie or
me.
Something?
Yeah. Whatever. So, anyways, he was also in The Fifth Element, one of my favorite movies. 48-hour series, one of the greatest comedies ever made, Cabin Boy. You know damn well that's a hilarious fucking movie.
I love Cabin Boy. It is underrated and it does not get a lot of love like it should. That was a genius fucking movie. It was done cheaply and it is fucking funny.
I think it's hilarious. He also did a lot of voice acting, including like the Spawn cartoon.
And it just has additional voices for that. It doesn't say like who he played, which kind of
that's for sure. And we have John saying, "Have a good night, gang."
Later, Gunny.
Them all had the guns out. You too, man. Thanks for dropping in. That's for sure. So we also had Michelle Johnson as Liz Kelly Dixon in this episode. She was in Death Becomes Her, Dr. Giggles, which is a episode that we did over on 2G1C. A fucking great movie.
She's kind of looks like a great value Erica Alanik.
That's fair.
I
liked her in this. Like I guess depending on like how you really like look at this episode and like really break it down, because there's certain things in this episode that don't really age well, to say the least. But it's still entertaining, that's for sure. And our last main character that we're going to mention is Billy Worth as Ted. He was in The Lost Boys, Who Killed the Baby Jesus. I only wrote that down because I thought it was a hilarious name for a movie. I've never seen it. Have you?
I thought we were asking
killed
who did it.
Baby Jesus?
Yeah. He was in a movie called Who Killed the Baby Jesus.
Are you kidding me?
No, but I love the name of the movie, so I was like, I gotta write this down. Like, actually go and like pop my notes in it.
I know you do. I know.
Hey, whatever.
Of all people, you would.
Right.
Well, I think it's a fantastic title.
Hey, it's better than like when he had his rainbow fucking coat. You know. But let's see. He was also in Body Snatchers, Crow's Nest, and Space Marines. So he's been around a little bit too. But anyway, that's who wrote, directed, and actually starred in this episode. So, Jack, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this actual episode and give us a short little walkthrough of it.
All right. Look, there really isn't, all the listeners and watchers right now, there really isn't that much to this episode. And I'm going to first start off to say, before we even get to this point in the end, I fucking hated this episode. It's gonna get a 1. And here's why. The movie starts off.
Don't go. That's why. All right, you explain it first, man. You're not supposed to do that. What the fuck?
Sorry.
That's worse than my Hubie Halloween one. I was like, it's 90 minutes of making fun of autistic people.
Right. Okay. Well, here we go. All right. So the episode starts off with this bartender, this sexy bartender from that era, and some guy in there that's probably a local, and tries to hit on her and be like, "Listen, babe, you're gonna go with me. Like you liked it. You liked it, or some shit." And then this ugly ass motherfucker comes in, saves the day. She gets Stockholm syndrome, and falls in love with him and marries him. Then he takes her off to his cabin in the woods where he owns a logging company and has a mandingo fucking area that for his buddies go to jerk each other off. And then she falls in love. They get married, and she comes out and sees the guys there, and they all look to her like she's a hot piece of meat. And the guy gets super jealous. There's jokes about her sucking dick for 5 cents, and I'm like, where the fuck is this bar? I want to go. And then there's another part where the guy says that, and he overhears him again, then shoves a wood piece in his mouth. Like, you shut the fuck up. No one talks about, but whatever the fuck it is. And then she gets all jealous because he's like, why did you come in there? And then after that, it just becomes this like stereotypical jealous guy, like, don't look at my woman. She's too sexy and all that shit. He's insecure, obviously. Look at him. And then next thing you know, he, the new kid on the block comes in looking for a job. He's like the hot stud of the era. And she's like, ooh, now it's going to be entertaining. Spice things up. So she seduces this guy, gets one of his work gloves, leaves it in the house for her husband to find. He goes on a rampage searching for who did it. Some guy steps up and said it was him, and it really wasn't. He gets the shit beat out of him. And then next thing you know, it goes on, and the girl seduces this dude, and we get to finally see boobies and stuff like that. And we actually saw him earlier, but we saw boobs more this time. And like they're getting it on, blah blah blah. The guy comes in, he catches him. He's like, no, and then she goes to say, he came on to me, he raped me, whatever. He grabs an axe, and by the way, hits him with the butt end of the axe across the head. I don't know if this guy had super strength or what, but he fucking took 2 fucking blows. Next thing you know, he's blinded by this and not killed. I don't know how the fuck that happened. And then the guy's getting used. They say, oh, you're gonna be okay. The guys know what really fucking happened. So they go and they give him this log, this chainsaw, and says, you're gonna learn how to do this. And he goes up to these 2 split logs, and he like feels it. He's like, yeah, I can do this. He starts cutting. Everyone starts cheering. Next thing you know, blood starts flying everywhere, and you're like, what is this really happening? What they did was kidnap the boss, put him in the fucking log, chops him up, and then the girl's watching this, and she's about to die. But and that's the end of the fucking episode. What I don't understand, how the fuck and where the fuck is she talking and narrating from if she's fucking dead?
She didn't die.
It doesn't make sense. It's a
we never get to the point where she dies. We never get to that point.
Died.
Well, probably near the end. They don't go that far.
But also, how many films are being narrated by a dead person? There's a ton of movies.
None.
Oh, okay. All right. Why don't you? Yeah. Okay. Can you list off? That. Never mind. I'm not. And first off, she doesn't steal his glove. The glove falls out of his back pocket when she's coming on to him, and she keeps it.
Yeah, that's true.
And nobody admitted that it was their glove. They all said, "No, Dixon, it was none of our gloves. You're fucking crazy."
Right. They were all trying to avoid it, but
One did say it was mine.
Hold on. We'll talk about the episode in just a few minutes, though. Okay, guys. So, anyways, before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the differences between this and the comic book issue of Split Second. Which, as you can tell by this picture, if you're watching this and not listening on podcast, but it's obviously a little bit different. So, with these right here, we usually just go through and talk about just the differences between the episode and the comic book. So that's what we're going to pretty much do on this. So with it, starting off, there's a really big difference, and that is the possessiveness that Dixon has over the Liz character. And in the TV episode, it's kind of not there at first, and then once they get married and she's introduced to the guys there, then that's when the possessiveness starts. But in the actual comic book issue, it's right from the get-go when they meet, it's just that strong, and that's just the way he is. Now, the next real big difference is they weren't really going after her. The other guys there were kind of mad for the fact that they weren't allowed to bring their wives there because Dixon, as Jack kind of went over kind of quickly, as you guys could tell, he didn't care for this episode. But one of the things that was in the episode, and one of the things that was in this episode is the fact of them, making it very clear that this was a place that they didn't let women go to. So it was just, that kind of place, and that was a lot more prevalent in the comic book. That was the actual main one of the things that they were actually really upset about. Another thing is when they're doing the chopping competition and we actually get to see the character go at it and everything, the hot guy in town, as Jack said. We don't get this scene at all in the comic book, so there is no extra perversion there with that at all. There really wasn't any bar scenes either. Most of the talking entirely in this whole thing was done in a cabin. It was the settings weren't the same at all. And one of the things that was in this is that was really similar was the whole concept of doing the tournament, where the logging tournament where they use the axes and do everything like that. Now in the TV episode, they kind of touch over that a little bit, but it's a bigger deal in the comic book. In the comic book, that was one of the things where the Liz character actually kind of had one over on him. She caught him practicing for the tournament and held that above him so that she could try to seduce him because of that, because Mr. Dixon wasn't allowing it at all. Ted was not interested in her.
Wait, can we talk about the worst?
After I talk about the comic book difference.
Can we talk about the worst sexing?
After we, yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Were there sex in the movie? In the show? I mean, in the book?
No, there wasn't. You should read the comic books.
Oh. Because it's from what, 1940 something?
19. I think that's right here. Had to have been 51, 52.
Yeah.
But Ted wasn't actually interested in her at all in the comic book either. That was another thing, and that was
really?
kind of what that's kind of what she used against him, because she was screaming for help when he decided not to actually go for her, and kind of used that as he's coming on to me thing and trying to go you get more of that rapey vibe in the comic book than you do in the actual TV episode. That's for sure, to say the least. And then there isn't the whole blunt side of the axe thing either. Instead, they use a rock, and he beats the shit out of him with the rock. And they go through teaching him how to chop with the axe again and stuff like that. They don't go to the chainsaw like they do in the comic book episode, where we actually get to see him using the chainsaw. And, as you see, cutting through Mr. Dixon and leaving Dixon in pieces while Liz watches. And other than that, though, that was pretty much all the main differences in there. So before we get talking about our thoughts on this, which I know Jack is fucking dying to fucking do, we're going to take a small commercial break, and we'll be right back, guys.
Hello, this is the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and ParanormalPunchers.com.
Do you like the Tales from the Crypt? Do you love the Tales from the Crypt? Even if you've never seen an episode, this podcast is for you. I'm Melissa, your ghostess with the mostest, and host of the Good Evening Kiddies podcast. Each week, I break down another great episode from the TV series The Tales from the Crypt. Audio clips are included, so even if you haven't watched that episode, you're good to go. There are also special guests, trivia, mini movie reviews, and much more. What are you waiting for? Check out the Good Evening Kiddies podcast on Podbean, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's the Good Evening Kiddies podcast. Check it out today.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. A whole new season of spine-tingling tales.
For the first time in We're Not Afraid of the Dark history, we're actually going to watch a erotic scene
together. Just a couple brothers watching porn together. Don't worry about it.
On air right now. This is the biggest plot hole I saw this, by the way. How in the fuck does she take him back in town for
But he was made it a point to bump him. But no, I agree.
How do you not catch this?
I was drunk when I watched this.
Whoa, so were we. Yeah.
But yeah, there's just this giant fucking board right here ready to lock it down.
Like it has hooks that you latch the fucking door to lock it.
She is on Mr. Skate. I'll put a link in the show there. She does get it. And she's listed as great nudity. She's a red-haired girl. They say she has great national tits.
See?
You seen her black people in this episode?
I like how she's exercising while eating it. And then she's in the bathroom taking a shit, reading the story, and the plate's on the floor.
Man, this is also the first episode where our main characters aren't just a bunch of generic white kids.
Everything about our food is changing. The way we cook it, the way we eat it, and the way we share it. And that's why I'm encouraging you to come and check out Pardon My Fork. Conveniently packaged in hour-long episodes and available anywhere you find your favorite podcasts and at pardonmyfork.com. We are talking to home cooks, chefs, Food Network stars, and world food champions. So cleanse your palate and come and get a heaping helping of Pardon My Fork.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibans, tasty news,
unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia,
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts,
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Dorkening and Inebriar podcast networks, with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or any podcast player cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all things that make growing up awesome.
Win championship belts. If you're not listening to Trick or Treat Radio, here's a taste of what you've been missing.
There's 3 guarantees in life. What are they? Death, taxes, and Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning.
This is one of the most convoluted movies I've ever seen in my life.
I'm fucking trying, man.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
It's like you took a shit on a pile of shit.
But you shit on him for liking what he likes.
Yeah, well, it's my job.
This podcast is now banned in Germany.
It's me, Giovanni Lombardo Radici.
Shut up. I call bullshit. I demand someone to bring me the face of Lindsay Lohan.
If I had genitals, I would definitely bang her.
Oh, wait. Is she a great big fan person?
You just hit the jackpot.
This is a weird movie, huh?
It had action, it had suspense, it had great characters, it had great acting.
I'm gonna strangle you with my jockey shorts.
I don't like mobster movies.
All right, well, here's my take. You're a sick fuck.
Thank you. Now shut the fuck up and let me talk.
Have you ever seen 2001?
The box, right? The box and the monkey.
Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and trickortreatradio.com.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
And welcome back to this awesome episode while Ron's down there reading the farts book.
What? Oh, we're back? Okay. I was just reading Jack's autobiography.
Oh, God. No, I don't know.
I love the chapter when you talk about turning your hair silver. It was gripping. Gripping.
He's muted still for some reason.
That's fine.
I don't know.
No, you muted me.
No, I didn't, but it's okay. Anyways, dude. So
can you guys see me? Can you see me?
Yeah. We're doing a podcast, dude. Do you want to do it? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyways, we went ahead. We discussed this episode, split second. We talked about the differences with the comic book. So why don't we go around and talk a little bit about what we thought about this actual episode personally, and give it a score between 1 and 10. So let's go ahead and start off with the Loadmaster himself, Seaman Hunter.
Well, I have to say this is by far one of the most intriguing episodes that I've seen yet. If I had to say what episode to watch in the whole entire series, this would not be the episode. And the reason I say this is because the plot hole of her talking throughout the whole thing, I didn't get it. I thought she was going to be in like a fucking, jail cell thinking. No, we didn't even get resolution for that. It was lame. It was predictable. The effects were great. That's why I do give it a score of what I do give it. I forgot about Cabin Boy, so now I got to give it another plus sign. But the actors were great. It was just a bad episode. It wasn't anything special. Excuse me. And I know some episodes are going to be greater and lesser than others, but I hated it. Absolutely dreaded it. It sucked. It did see boobies. They weren't that impressive. So I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. And
Okay.
that is my thoughts on the episode.
I'll talk about your thoughts a little bit more when it's my turn. But Ron, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you thought about this episode and you give it a rating.
Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more in-depth and intellectual about it. I don't give it a 1. I didn't find it to be predictable. I did, however, have an issue with the dialogue. It was a little contrived, a little campy, a little corny. They were trying to do something noir with it, and it didn't come off that way. And it didn't fit with the setting it was in. The acting was all great. I do think that the best acting, though, I thought that Dixon was a little over the top, a little too much over the top. He was really, I think the best acting went to, and pardon me for forgetting their names, but the two guys that kidnapped Dixon to put him into the tree, the black guy and the other guy. I thought that they were the best actors in the entire episode. What do I give it? What do I give it?
And I believe those other guys were was it Snaz and Artie?
Yeah. I thought they were probably the best actors out of the whole bunch. Ted seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. The actor, he didn't seem like he's like doing all this B stuff, and that's great, but it just kind of like, I don't know, he just didn't seem like he was there all the way. But what do I give it? And I didn't mind the voiceover, even though, we didn't know where it was coming from, because this isn't reality. I give it it was serviceable. The only other problem I have with it is I'm noticing these episodes, because I'm kind of going back and watching them, share a lot with The Mandalorian. In that you blink and they're over.
Yeah.
And
you
that
gotta
kind
really
of
pay attention.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we'll do that on the Mandalorian podcast. But I just wanted to say that because I just started watching it. Holy shit! But anyway, I give it a. Do you allow half points?
Yeah.
Okay, I give it a 5.5.
5.5. All right,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, I go ahead and I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I thought about this one. This is one that I actually enjoyed a lot when I was younger. This is one that brings back some memories. I remember this one specifically watching it on TV. I thought it was a really fun episode. the whole concept of the way it's narrated makes perfect sense to me, because it's like, you know, like you got to look at it this way. Like, she's inside of this tree, which, you know, we can see right here if you're watching the show right now. We see that she's actually inside of the tree, and the way the story is told, like, obviously she is in the tree kind of explaining how she got to this point, and it's like retelling the story leading up to there. And of course it's not going to go any farther, because the next step that goes farther in the story is her dying, and you can't really narrate your own death as you're dying. So that whole concept made sense to me, and I actually enjoyed it. I'm sorry Jack didn't. Actually, I don't really care that you didn't. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. That's for sure. The acting was a little over the top with Brian James. That's for sure. But I absolutely love the way this guy looks. Like, he played this character fucking perfect. Like, when you're actually like, other than like the long hair and everything compared to the comic book, like, this is the character. Like, they did a great job nailing that. And then the dialogue that was there, a lot of it was taken right from the comic book. There's not too many lines that they said in this episode that were not originally printed in that comic. Some of like the updatingness of it, yeah, but like the main premise, the main story, and a lot of like some of the cheesy one-lining type stuff was all in the comic book. So like that didn't really bother me either. But overall,
it does show its time though. It does show its age though, because those.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. But overall, I still give this episode at least a 6.5, 7. It was still a fun episode. It had that gore there for you. It was just all around a great episode. I don't really see any bad thing with it. Like I don't know why Jack, like, why you would give this such a fucking bad rating. Like, I don't understand what in your head was like, this is just so fucking bad. Like, unless you personally have something against lumberjacks, which I'm sure you have a story.
But before we go, I just want to, Jack said that there's no movies with being narrated by dead people. I'm just going to go ahead and name a couple: American History X, Autofocus, Employee of the Month, Malcolm X, Fallen. Let's see what else we got here: Braveheart, Bamboozled, Bubba Hotep, Casino.
Fallen. First off, Fallen was not dead. He was not dead.
Okay, first off, that doesn't matter. I'm listing off a bunch of other ones. Donnie Darko. Let's see what else. Warm Bodies. Looper.
How is he?
Looper. Casino.
Most of those are definitely narrated by somebody.
Casino, for crying out loud. Joe Pesci narrates a good half of the movie. And his character is dead.
I'm having connection issues. I can't hear bullshit. I'm sorry.
Then don't talk. I'm having
issues.
Oh, whatever. Oh God. I love it when people get proven wrong. So, anyways, that's our review of the split-second episode of Tales from the Crypt. I still thought it was a lot of fun, regardless of what Jack thought. I even thought it was a little bit better than what Ron thought. I'm kind of curious on Ron's opinions on Cabin Boy, because he wasn't the only one that got kind of happy when I said it. So, obviously, I feel like Ron does not a fan of Cabin Boy at all.
It has been so long since I've seen it, I don't really remember much about it. So, I just...
All right.
You need to rewatch it.
I think he knows
that. I'll watch a Giallo film.
No, you should just watch a Giallo film because you're a filmmaker. Watch Twitch of the Death Nerve or Bay of Blood. Or make moose and squirrel faces at me. I don't, whatever.
I prefer moose and squirrel faces. Let's go that route. But anyways, we will be saying we still have to decide on it, but we are going to be doing a classic Christmas horror movie for our next episode coming up. Tales from the podcast.
Are. I'm so excited.
It'll obviously be announced in a little bit. But it's going to be a fun one. I know it's one that Jack hasn't seen before, and it's kind of surprising, but we'll be talking about that on the show once we get there. That's for sure.
Right? Yeah, we will. And
right.
I do, for the record, I am a filmmaker, everyone, and I know I honestly, because of Justin, well, Justin and another friend, I just finished last week the 10 sequel franchise, Hellraiser. Fucking loved it. Yes, part 4, everyone, should have been part 10. Just saying.
I don't know. I personally think they were okay. They started getting bad after 4. They started getting really bad after 9. But that's my own opinion on it.
When Doug Bradley left, it's
yeah, I thought so too. It changed it for me.
Yeah. Clive Barker
oh my
has
God,
the rights
and
back,
that yeah, that's good. That's good. He took back that shit. So, but anyways, Ron, where can we find you? Where can people see you?
Right here, right now, if they open their eye. ronisawebsite.com.
Right.
Yeah, and then you can pick up the Blu-ray for $15 plus shipping, and the new movie comes out the 11th. So.
Right. Also, I heard a little bit about you having your OnlyFans account now, and that you're taking personal requests. Is there anything that you can tell everybody about that?
Yeah, actually, if you subscribe for $12 a month, I will take a little pill and dye my hair silver.
I did not see that coming. That was, that was funny. For anybody who's listening right now who doesn't get that joke, you should go back and re-listen to some other past episodes, and it will become crystal clear.
It's killing. Sorry.
It'll be so clear, it'll turn silver.
Oh yeah. So, Ron, why don't you go ahead and tell us? Well, you said the Blu-ray is going to be out on RodHasAWebsite.com.
Right.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us, everybody, when that movie is going to be released again?
That is December 11th. It'll be now. Here's the thing, though: is if anybody's listening is looking to do press for it, it will be available the evening of the 9th, the morning of the 10th. So if anybody wants to get copy to review, it'll be available. Just hit me up on Twitter or Facebook. And we're putting it out for free, but we're also going to be looking to submit it to festivals. The only problem is because it's a longer film, it's like 15-20 minutes. It's really hard to program in the shorts block.
Right.
Because I remember I interviewed at a film festival. I interviewed someone who does programming from the Milwaukee Film Festival, and they said that the ideal length is like 2 to 3 minutes for a short film, which I have plenty of.
That's what they would like.
Whatever.
I still think the best way to do it is just make your own film festival. It seems like that's what everyone's doing anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of film festivals out there right now, but the movie comes out a week from yesterday, and it's I'm looking forward to having it done, but I also don't want it gone because I don't want to. I kind of don't want to lose the oomph to do something. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of been my driving force for the past few weeks, and I can tell a funny story now that it's.
Vic chiming in saying, break the rules, make it 7 minutes long.
Oh, well, we're not talking about your dick, Vic. So I'm going to get a phone call for that one. But no, it's the funny story is I sent the wrong script to Tyler, and we were all set to shoot. We were all set to shoot, and we were all set up. He has the wrong script, and he's asking me questions. I'm like, okay. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. So I sent him the regular script, and we still got everything done in an hour. He was able to pick. Awesome. Yeah, I know. Tyler is he's a fucking a tour de force, and I asked him if he's still in on the I'll Be Right Behind You feature, and he is. I just got to get writing on that. I haven't really been very inspired to write lately for obvious reasons, but yeah, so.
Well, that's still pretty cool, man. I'm pretty happy for you.
Yeah, it's and we were originally going to have Skylar Kroom as the therapist, but I wanted to keep it as realistic as possible without making it an autobiographical. And my therapist in real life is a woman, and it wouldn't have the same kind of back and forth, I guess. So, and yes, I'm on therapy and I'm going on medicine, so I'm trying to better myself.
And speaking of Skylar Crum, he was actually, when we did season 3, episode 10, he was on for that one. So you're actually following Skylar. And so,
that's fine. That's fine.
That's really cool.
I couldn't follow a better man.
Oh, no, not at all, man. He was a great guy, and he was a delight to have on the show, that's for sure. Not just saying that because I'm a huge fucking Kiss Legend fan. But...
Yeah, no, I just wanted to work with the guy, and I still do, but I just I made an aesthetic change. It has nothing to do with his acting ability or anything like that. It's just so all I have left to shoot is the Mary Jo segment and the Jen segment. She's actually the last person I'm shooting on the 9th. So I have everything. I've been pulling a Kevin Smith and editing as I go along. So everything's all set to go. I just got to put their places in, link them together. The credits, both credit sequences are done. I just have to, and then I have to render, which is the most fun.
Well, that's really cool, dude. That's for sure. And we got Sam chiming in again, saying you guys are all awesome. Keep up your good work. Thanks, Sam. We appreciate that. That's for sure. And Vic, you're chiming in saying
enjoy the camera, Sam.
It's that easy.
Yeah. We'll talk.
So,
Vic.
all right.
All right. Well, and Ron, dude, thank you again, dude, for coming on, dude. It's always a delight. Feel free to stay after. I'm gonna drop you down, but
yeah, no problem. Don't forget to check out my
my
OnlyFans where I pop pills and dye my hair silver.
I can't say it twice. Can't do it twice.
I can. Comedy is rule of threes.
Doesn't work like that.
Yes, it does. You great value, Morrissey.
Hey, don't get
so
mad
everybody,
silver fox.
Check out ronhasawebsite.com. Ron, I'll talk to you in a few minutes, buddy. Thank you again. That was fun, man, dude, for sure. Dude, is there anything that you want to go ahead and add before we go and take us out of here?
Everybody, check out My Vinyl Asylum and Jack Hunter Productions LLC on Facebook. We got new music coming. We have new stuff that we're announcing. It's amazing. There is a real reason why my hair is silver. And regardless of the shit, it's art. And I'm Jack. And that's about that.
That's fair. And speaking of art, guys, we have a very special outro video that we're going to be playing today. A good friend of the show, Nicholas Price, he sent me some pictures of his artwork and stuff. So I made a video highlighting some of his artwork, some of his websites where everybody can check it out, as well as his Bandcamp to go along with some of his music. So if you're into like the electronica techno style music, check out Nick, man. All of his links are in this outro video. So everybody, please enjoy it for what it is. And with that being said, the crypt is closed. Thank you.